Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 3 of our commentary for The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. Last time, our sister was abducted by a giant bird wearing a mask. So this time, we're gonna set out on a pirate ship to try and get her back.
I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face. Dan burped before the video started.
I did no such thing.
That was me.
Yes.
How dare you try to sully my name like that?
I thought it was you, Dan.
I'm sorry, Dan. Somebody had to take the hit. No one can know that I have bodily functions.
How dare you drag the honorable name of Dan through the mud like that?
Oops. The honorable name of Dan something.
Dan backslide.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with a name like that, you were kind of asking for it. Anywho, we are on the pirate ship now, and I'm talking to all these guys because, unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to do this again.
Because no other playthrough will do that.
Nope.
What is Dexter from Dexter's Lab doing on this ship?
Questioning his existence. This is an odd camera angle. Kind of cool, though.
Ooh, I do not like his beard. Please shave that.
His mutton chops.
Yeah.
Is it really a beard if it doesn't touch the chin?
You got me there.
That's like the one part where he can't grow any hair.
Yeah,
Poor
have you
guy.
ever seen someone with like a reverse goatee where there's just hair everywhere, but they've shaved off patches where the, like, on the chin and on the upper lip?
You know, I can't say I've ever encountered anybody with that beard style, I guess, but I'm sure that if I did, I wouldn't forget it, because that sounds rather alarming to behold. It's like the anti-beard.
So I will say, one thing that in my recent playthrough, because I recently played through this game, on the GameCube, why do these pirates got so many swords?
Because
they look cool?
They gotta defend their ship against birds.
Yeah.
They
don't
load the
actually
swords
attack
into
the
the
bird.
cannons.
Just like little airborne missiles.
I like how important this little, like, stripey pirate makes this game.
Yeah, man. Hey, if you got to boss somebody around, wouldn't it kind of go to your head?
I can't say it wouldn't.
Or are you a decent person, unlike me?
Oh, that's a horde symbol for all you Warcraft fans out there.
Oh.
What?
Well...
Ta!
Oh yeah, they re-recorded this guy's voice clips for the HD version for some reason.
Is it the same voice?
It might be the same guy, but he sounds like way different. Okay, as a big fan of the original game, he sounds different, but I mean, I don't know. It's one soundbite. It's not gonna ruin my experience.
They changed
This mini game, on the other hand.
Now we get to the swingy challenge of the game that trips a lot of people up, and it's probably because the swinging mechanics in this game don't make sense. They're the kind. It's the kind of game where you get the most distance by jumping at the end of the swing rather than when the momentum is carrying you the fastest.
I mean,
Like
I
Kingdom
guess
Hearts.
maybe. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to figure out like why. Because this mechanic of swinging from stuff like shows up later, but this and like the secondary version of this are like the hardest instances of it in the game.
Yeah.
Like everything else you have to like grapple onto and swing around is like easy peasy. It's just this one thing that's like difficult.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they made it a lot smoother in the HD version, because in the original version, you could not turn from left to right unless you stopped in place.
Oh yeah.
And like manually re-angled yourself.
I remember that. Oh my god.
Yeah, one of the many quality of life changes made in the HD version. There's some of that ugly lighting there for you. It always seems like it's at its worst like on like the item fanfare screen and when you're close to like multiple like strong sources of light. But here it looks okay.
Such a relationship with this remake. Like, yeah, that's just one of the many quality of life changes made by this game. It's really great. And there's that ugly fucking lighting.
Yeah. I mean, that's those are my honest feelings, Dan.
Fair enough.
You don't poo-poo my feelings.
I'll poo-poo you.
When you said ugly lighting,
Come on.
I thought you were going to say something about the ugly nature of that bag and how it looks like it's in pain.
Oh yeah, the spoils bag.
Yeah,
because I guess we need specific.
Spoiled.
We need specific dedicated bags to carry different kinds of things in. I can't be putting my mail in with my stolen monster necklaces.
With another Warcraft reference, you need more bag space.
With my choo-choo jelly. Come on, are you raised in a barn?
You get a separate jelly bag.
I like how
it's just like a Tupperware container.
I like
Hyrule is very inconsistently technologically advanced. We still don't have indoor plumbing, but by God, we got our plastic Tupperware.
Aw, he's sleepy.
And now we're coming up to my actual favorite cutscene in the game. And I think most people's favorite cutscene in the game.
This is legendary.
I loved it so much as a kid. I just watch it over and over again, and I still love it today.
This would be my favorite cutscene, if not for the cutscene when Spoiler stabs Spoiler in the spoiler with the spoiler sword.
I was about to say something about that.
Just to protect you guys from spoilers for this 15-plus-year-old game.
I like that the idea that they put Link in a barrel without him realizing it.
Yeah. It's just carrying him to the barrel. So what's the plan? Oh, you'll see what the plan is. In due time.
He was just dozing off, as he does.
Is this a tax write-off for Petra? If he doesn't live, we can write him off.
Hey, who's gonna hold him accountable? As far as I know, there's no established government in this world.
That was the fastest character arc we've seen in any Zelda game. He goes from terrified to accepting his fate in 3 short seconds.
Hey, still more than any previous Zelda game. Can you imagine this scene happening in Twilight Princess?
No.
Link in just real ass Link in a barrel, getting catapulted.
Because as funny as this is, I feel like that would be 10 times as hilarious.
Man, people give this game such shit, but it's a legitimately fun game.
Yeah, it's charming. And also, I don't really buy the whole... we touched on this briefly earlier, but people were really, kind of... not in... upon this game's announcement, people were kind of lukewarm on the new cartoony art style, to put it charitably, but, here's the thing. If you look at the art styles of the previous Zelda games before this, and especially a lot of the official art, it wasn't explicitly realistic, or even
Joe, put up the sprite of Link holding up the Triforce from Zelda 1.
Yeah, okay, I'll try to find it, but
where one of his eyes are all wonky and
I think a lot of the ire towards this art style comes from people who were introduced to Zelda through Ocarina of Time, or who consider that to be the pinnacle of the series. Which at this point, I couldn't really blame them for that, but Zelda did not have a consistent art style prior to this, so this was just kind of another I guess the Space World 2000 trailer was probably what kind of threw him off, but still, I think this ended up looking way better than that probably would have.
Well, I guess up to this point,
especially at the time.
I guess up to this point, the Ocarina of Time art style was the most consistent art style Zelda had, since it was in 2 games, unchanged. And ironically, now the most consistent art style the Zelda universe has is the Wind Waker art style.
Oh yeah, because that was in this Minish Cap, and I think the Four Swords games as well as the DS games.
Yeah, this, the 2 DS games, Minish Cap. It was in, I think it was in Four Sword. like the Four Swords side game for Link to the Past on the GBA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Four
Swords
Adventures.
Adventures for the GameCube. And then Triforce Heroes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that game.
Yeah. A lot of people
because
do.
It's kind of a forgettable game.
Triforce Heroes.
I still want to play it at some point because, you know, I got to keep up my play every single Zelda game in existence.
Yeah.
I can't be the number one Zelda fan and then not play. Speaking of which, I got to play Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land, and I don't know if I want to play Link's Crossbow Training.
It's like Kingdom Hearts. Everything is canon.
Please don't play Link's Crossbow Training. Save yourself the time.
I feel like Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land would at least be a fun romp.
Well, it would certainly be an unforgettable one. From what I've seen of that game. Yeah.
Oh snap! Laser time.
Yeah. That wall-mounted Moblin statue with the laser vision, I think only appears like once or twice in the whole game.
And it is terrifying.
Yeah, like when I first played this game, this Forsaken Fortress, this first visit here, stressed me out so much.
Like, I mean, looking at it now, it's just like it's just like a Moblin statue that shoots lasers. But I mean, with how suddenly it pops up and then the sound it makes and just like
the walls want to kill me too.
And then all of a sudden you're just running for your life from a laser. It's just like terrifying, especially for a kid.
Well, and it's like so. I think part of it has to do with the fact that the laser comes out like instantaneously, and there's like so much knockback to Link when it hits you. It's just like, oh god, don't mess around with this guy.
It just comes out from a spot that you can't. Like once the cutscene is over to show you what it is, you can't see it anymore, and so it's just like you're just running around with this laser coming at you from God knows where, going.
Yeah. So what do you guys think of the Forsaken Fortress as the first, like, quote-unquote dungeon of this game?
It's easy to get lost.
Yeah, and I did my first time playing because
I did as well, and my second and third time, and maybe fourth time.
Okay, I don't know.
Time.
Well, there's a real simple trick, like, and it does necessitate getting thrown in prison. But, like, if you start from, like, the prison area and you take a left and knock out the searchlight and then go, like, to the right and just go all the way around to, like, the big room with, like, the boat hanging in it in the water. Like, it's a pretty straight shot, but, I mean, your first time playing that, like, I can definitely see people getting lost in here.
There's also a heart piece in here, right?
Yeah, and I think that I get it, like, as the next thing I do.
Look out, folks. He's got speedrun strats.
Well, yeah, and they're not the most exciting ones either. Yeah.
As you try to jump over the wall and just got slammed down by the hand of Miyamoto.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that, like, once you come back here, like, after this initial visit, nice clipping on the door there, by the way, but after this initial visit, like, all of those invisible walls are removed. Like, it's just here to make sure you don't, like, fall off the Forsaken Fortress and, like, drown in the ocean.
Huh.
Oops.
But, like, you can really break this dungeon wide open the second time. Like, if you stand in the right spot and, like, angle the wind the right way and use, like, the Deku Leaf, you can skip, like, most of these interior rooms. Although I've only been able to do that once. Every subsequent time it's ended in miserable failure. But yeah, here's your heart piece, Dan.
Yep. There's that cup and the plates just sitting on the ground, begging for you to walk into them.
I totally meant to fall down here, by the way. I love how there's a table and whoever is, like, bringing rations to these prisoners just put them on the ground anyway.
I like how part of the capture operation is just to throw fire at you.
Yeah, that'll stop him in his tracks.
Is that to prevent escape?
I mean, I would think, but like,
I don't
it
think
could also...
so. Because, like, I mean, you got caught when you were really close to him.
Well, the moblins don't seem like the most...
I think normally they'll just throw down the fire just like either at you or between you two.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, the moblins don't seem like the most intelligent creatures around. So,
What if the moblin guard saw you and then he's just like, oh, and then he out his eyes.
little known fact: children are really weak to fire.
Yeah.
But only children.
Yes.
Your skin gets thicker as you grow up.
Truth.
And Link is too short to look at the pirate ship through the telescope.
Wait, were they waiting for him?
I guess.
Well, they can't just leave him here.
Well, I think in a later cutscene, Tetra comments like, yeah, we thought you were dead after that bird, like, chucked you miles away. I'm surprised Link even survives, like, getting held in its beak. Spoiler alert.
It's like just rolling up to Alcatraz and dropping someone off to break their friend out and just being like, alright, well, see ya, you're on your own from here.
Well, I guess that didn't pan out.
Nice throw.
Yeah.
There you go.
While we're speaking of things that didn't pan out.
I will say, I love the Deku stick design in this game.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot more, like, well, designed in this game. In Ocarina, it was basically just a stick.
And this one,
it does make it a bit weirder when you get them from the Deku Babas, though. Like, oh yeah. Wow, well, these are already like nice and carved and wrapped up.
It was their parting gift to you. Go get the compass, you idiot! You're leaving the compass.
Ironic.
Ugh.
Oh,
there he goes.
And now I remembered it.
I've been watching old Pikmin replays of mine to edit for future, but I do the same thing where I'm just like, what are you doing? You're doing things out of sequence of how you normally do them.
Yeah.
What if we just made up a character that plays all these games that's not us?
So we never have to share the blame.
Or we just pretended that the characters were, like, sentient. Like, oh man, look at Link go.
I'm sorry, Zelda.
Zelda.
I'm so glad I chose that name for her.
Her name is Zelda.
You're really proud of that one, aren't you?
No. I am increasingly less proud of that name. But, like, that's what everybody called it back in the day when they were like, oh, I'm too cool to play this game for babies.
So, did this game sell well? Like the original?
Sold better than Skyward Sword.
Oh,
I mean, if you pre-ordered it, it came bundled with Ocarina of Time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I think this game's underwhelming sales were why, or were at least part of why they took Twilight Princess in the more realistic direction. I think it sold fine in Japan, but in the West, people weren't as into the look of it.
Joke's on them. This one looks better than the other remake.
Yeah.
It's weird how both the East and the West have their things that are, like...
dumb.
One side will be, like... they'll see the good things in something, while the other side just, like, rags on it for seemingly no good reason. And then, like, in other respects, like, the sides will switch. I guess it just depends. I guess it's just, you know, like, cultural differences and values and all that.
Yeah. I mean, I'll never forgive Americans for rejecting Wind Waker, but I also can't excuse Japan's, like, outright rejection of the entire Metroid series. Particularly the Prime games, which I love.
That still baffles me. It's like, not only was that movie...
I'm sure there are plenty of Japanese players who enjoy Metroid games, but just not to the degree. It's probably just like the Western influence of the franchise, like all the alien stuff.
Oh, you're dropping down. Oh, what are you doing?
I'm showing off a shortcut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you push this crate over here down, you can make a shortcut for yourself if you get caught again.
Oh, just in case.
Yep, not something I've ever really had to use, miraculously, given how awful I was at this game the first time I played it, but it's nice that they considered that, at least.
So it's like a contingency plan.
Yeah.
The contingency box.
You could just as easily, all it takes is letting go of that A button once, and you're back to square one.
So I know it's not here, but when you get to the first dungeon, when Link has to do this, and he has to dodge the lava spews, that's probably one of the most like gut-wrenching, like, oh my god, I could die here moments of the game for me.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I guess on that note, is this the only Zelda game that has like the whole like sidling thing, like sneaking along narrow ledges like this? I think all the other ones just have you like drop down and crawl along the ledge.
Oh, so you know what? That reminds me. So this came out around the same time as the first God of War. How would you guys love a Zelda-themed God of War style combat game?
Well, I mean, how close to that is Hyrule Warriors?
That's not close at all.
Okay.
I mean, that's like...
It's just Zelda, but you have a chain on your sword, and also another sword with a chain on it, and you just throw it at people.
Ganondorf game, perhaps?
See, okay, so...
Ganon of War.
Ever since... I would love, like, a game where, like, say, like, Link fails to save Hyrule from something, but, like, whoever has the Triforce of Power is, like, the only person left to do it. So it, like, gives you a different style of game. I would love that!
Ganondorf just has a change of heart, and you can't you can pick up enemies' dropped weapons, but you can't take them through doors.
Can't take them with you.
We are still a decade or two away out from Breath of the Wild at this point, though, so I suppose I can forgive him.
Okay, but what if...
I like to imagine the seagulls are trapped in there, too.
Ganon's minions are just like just have really poor eyesight.
That look.
Except for that one.
What the heck?
I choose to believe that this bird was keeping an eye on Link the whole time, but like pretending not to notice, just to like let him think he'd won.
I like to think the Helmerot King is like a minion of Ganondorf's that he transformed into a bird.
Yeah, he's Iago.
Yeah.
He's just a pet bird that he fed too many hoi pears.
It became self-aware.
Stop coming back! I don't have any more pears!
He picked up Link because he thought he was a pear.
Master, I found another one. May I consume it?
It's Pajama Dwarf.
We'll get to see more of him later, but I love this design for Ganondorf. Oh, short Zelda game. No dungeons either.
Wasted.
Or is it?
Link, don't drink the water.
That's some fine clipping right there.
Speaking of clipping, time to clip this episode.
Well, that's the last of it.
Will Link drown? Yes. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.